The usual packed house at Cameron Indoor Stadium waiting for the Blue Devils and the Cavaliers. Virginia, as we take a look at the McDonald's starting lineups, will need the improving play of Corey Alexander. The freshman point guard was a key factor in the upset of North Carolina last week. For Duke, Kenny Blakeney will start at point guard. He hasn't played much, but is a true point guard, and they will need him tonight. Laettner and Stiff getting ready for the center jump. And we'll do it again.
A little background on Blakeney, Mike. You talk about a young guy that comes from an excellent high school program out of the Matha High School, played for Morgan Wooten, playing against one of his former teammates tonight, Ted Jeffries, also played at the Matha, plays for Virginia.
Corey Alexander gets the first offensive shot, and he makes it count.
He's going to be an outstanding player at Virginia. Gets better and better with more playing time.
This is Kenny Blakeney. He's been averaging only 6.7 minutes a game off Mike Krzyzewski's bench.
Well, he's really basically the third point guard behind Hurley and also Hill.
Blakeney had the shot and passed on it. Laettner will not. Short with the jumper.
Christian Laettner had that emotional moment, having his jersey retired in front of his mom and dad here tonight.
Alexander down to Burrow. And through the hands of Oliver, who has not been playing well recently for the Cavaliers.
Oliver never really has become the player that he was prior to breaking a bone in his right hand last year against Davidson back on January 21st.
It's really affected his shooting and apparently his confidence too. Thomas Hill moving on. Oliver, nice move.
He really is something special. Doesn't get a lot of publicity and notoriety, but Thomas Hill is a flat-out big-time player. Very versatile.
Oliver looking inside for Stiff. Will take the jumper himself instead. Davis with the rebound to Blakeney. Nice feed in the middle. Antonio Lang muscles it up, doesn't get it. And the rebound goes to Ted Jeffries, who has really been a force in the middle for the Cavaliers. Bad pass and Davis with a steal.
Jeffries been doing a good job on the defensive end. Doesn't shoot the rock enough, but is a solid defender on the interior. Was voted most improved defensive player last year.
And Virginia does play some real tough man-to-man.
That's what keeps them in most games, their outstanding team defense.
Davis from outside with a miss. Ask about their defense. All you have to do is ask Hubert Davis of North Carolina. Held to a career low last week.
They really shut him down. They have to neutralize Laettner here tonight.
Good catch by Corey Alexander. We're tied at 2 minutes into the opening half of the ballgame.
He's got a lot of offensive skills, Alexander. Excellent change of direction player with the dribble.
Burrow, who likes the baseline jumper most of all. He's got wonderful rotation on that shot. Stiff. Got it.
They're going to retire his jersey, number 20, at their North Carolina State game on March 3rd, and very deserving. Needs only 13 points tonight to become the all-time leading scorer in Cavalier history.
To pass, Jeff Lamb. Loose ball off the hand of Lang, but Laettner picks it up. Duke playing without Grant Hill and Bobby Hurley, who is dressed tonight for the first time in a couple of weeks, but may not play. Laettner leans into one, can't get it. Out of bounds to the Cavaliers.
Excellent post defense by Jeffries, really making Laettner have a tough angle and look at the basket. Grant Hill sitting on the sideline, becoming an assistant coach tonight. They don't want him as an assistant, they want him on the floor.
Jay Billis and Tommy Amick are already down there. They got a pretty good assistant coaching staff. Alexander with a miss. Laettner with another rebound.
Good inside-outside action.
Look at this, end-to-end. And hit the side of the backboard. Maybe trying to do too much himself early.
Yeah, he can't force the action. He's got to really wait for the good shot to come to him. He might feel the pressure of trying to lift the ball.
Here's a foul inside. They'll call that one on Jeffries.
Early, Duke's playing a lot better defense than they did against Wake Forest in their loss, 72-68, and in their win against Maryland when they gave up 89 points. Mike Krzyzewski said that was not Duke basketball.
And Maryland really gave him the scare. Lost by only 2. Blakeney being pressured by Alexander.
You talk about a guy milking his talent. Gary Williams getting the most out of his people.
You bet he is.
isolate Leitner in a little one-on-one move right here against Jeffries, trying to beat him with his quickness.
Hasn't done much yet. Jeffries has done a brilliant job inside. There's Lang offensive rebound, and he is hacked by Junior Burrow.
Jeffries really had good positioning. He utilized his feet really well, beat Leitner to a spot, made him force the shot. Look at Jeffries, the wide body, right to post him right here. Now he's going to play him a little one-on-one defense. He says, you can't strip me. Look, I'll beat you with my feet. It makes him take a bad shot. Good offensive rebound by Antonio Lang. There's the pump fake that draws the foul.
Lang out of Mobile, Alabama, 61% free throw shooter from the line this year.
LaFleur High School, valedictorian. We've talked about that often. Almost went to LSU with Dale Brown and company. Hey, Shaq and his attack last night, they were brilliant against Mississippi. They were scintillating right out of the gate, LSU the Tigers.
Lang trying to draw Duke within one early, and does.
You know, mentioning valedictorian, congratulations to Mark Davis in North Carolina State. 7 threes against North Carolina for a freshman.
Duke is only 1 out of 7 from the floor so far. Really cold start.
They don't have rhythm offensively. Missing Grant Hill.
Burrow with that beautiful rotation on the jumper.
I think you like Junior Burrow.
I do.
I don't blame you. He's going to be really a power guy in that box for the next 3 years after this.
He's going to be some player. Blakeney has handled the point very well for Duke so far. Has not thrown the ball away.
He's got good ball handling skills. Played in that special program down there at Morgan Wooten, DeMatha High School.
Leitner again leans into one, just can't buy a basket, and Jeffries has got to get all the credit for great defense. He is 0 for 5 from the floor.
But hasn't had a really good shot.
But he keeps taking them. Corey Alexander makes it 8-3 Virginia. And look at the look on Christian Leitner's face. Crowd trying to get him pumped.
They got to get Thomas Hill a little bit more involved in the offense. Get Hill involved.
Blakeney trying to drive on Alexander. He leans into one.
That's a big basket. A great psychological lift for a kid like Blakeney. Getting his first start. As you said earlier, Mike, he's only played 6 minutes a game.
Showed no nerves on that one whatsoever. Oliver hounded by Davis and fouled by Davis.
This is where they need the help of this crowd. Mike was a little down on the crowd against Maryland. In fact, he blasted them in the school paper. He said they're so used to winning that they really didn't cheer. They didn't stand for the whole game. They're ready tonight.
8-5. We've got a timeout on the court. 14:52 to go first half of play. Virginia with the early 8-5 lead on Duke, and Christian Leitner has struggled from the floor, taking 5 shots, missed them all early. Ted Jeffries has dominated him inside. Jeffries with 3 rebounds so far. Stith has yet to get untracked offensively, but it is 8-5 Virginia.
Jeffries really has been the story here with his defensive play. He's been really tenacious on the defensive end. Big game for Virginia. 12 and 11. They can't afford any more slips if they're thinking of the NCAA dance. They have to win this game and their next 3. 2 of them which at home.
And Duke, of course, without Hill and Hurley, certainly vulnerable at this point.
Well, you better beat them without Hill and Hurley because you're not going to beat them any other time.
You bet. Stith, nice move in the lane, and Stith makes it a 10-5 game. Bryant Stith with 4 points.
The pro scouts really like Bryant. He brings to the table more than just a good basketball player. Solid all-around human being. Just a great person. Let it double up.
Nice double team. Davis left open for the 3. Can't hit it.
He's going to have the wide open 3 because they're going to double down on Leitner every time he touches the ball.
Alexander pushes it up. Leitner, good steal inside. Davis. A lot of contact, no whistle. Here comes Oliver back the other way. Alexander, it would have been a 3. Leitner with a rebound, knocked out of bounds by Stith. And Bobby Hurley will come on the court. What a reception for Bobby Hurley, who has been out since the first North Carolina game when he was injured. That, of course, the first game that Duke lost this year. Thomas Hill with a runner, and he's fouled.
It's amazing. You look at Bob Hurley speaking yesterday to Mike Krzyzewski at practice, and also watching Bobby. Bobby just stood on the sidelines, basically did a little shooting, didn't run up and down the floor, but he received the clearance. Yesterday had x-rays. They said the bone is healed. He has the clearance to start to play. It's going to be interesting to see how many minutes he gets. Maybe this is just a psychological lift for the club, putting him on for a couple of minutes.
Well, it looked like they certainly needed that psychological lift.
You miss a lot of firepower when you miss a Hurley and a Hill. You're talking 2 All-Americans, Mike. We're not just talking 2 guys in the All-YMCA leagues.
Exactly.
Well, I was All-YMCA, and I know you were All-Boys Club. Now, nothing wrong with the Boys Club and YMCA, but All-Americans a little different.
Isn't it ever? Thomas Hill, who has played so well for Duke during this injury period, cuts the lead to 4. Now cuts it to 3. 13:42 to go, and let's see if we can how Hurley moves. It's an excellent defensive play. Might lack a little conditioning having been injured.
Stamina, a little slip right there. He's limping a little bit.
Boy, a little bit, and I know the Duke people won't let that go on. Stiff for 3. Pearl, offensive rebound. And Jeffries commits the foul against Lakeman. That is 2 on Ted Jeffries.
Had a chance to meet Christian's sister today. Leanne, she's 6'2", absolutely beautiful young lady. She was over at my book signing period today with all the Duke kids down there at the Student Union, and I saw her standing there, and she says, "Oh, I happen to be Christian's sister." I was like, "Oh, really?" I was shocked, Mike.
And the officials say that Yuri Barnes was supposed to come in on the last dead ball, so they'll get him in and take the ball out of bounds again. That's Jeff Jones.
He's starting to age a little bit. Look at him, one of the youngest coaches in all of college basketball. 2nd year, last year 21-12. Talking to Frank Scagliotta, I love that name. Scagliotta in the Donato line again. We got a Wirtz too. We'll change his name to Wirtzino.
I mean, Lenny's been around long enough, you're not going to change the name. 13:16 to go. Also on the court for the Cavaliers, Cornell Parker, number 33, is an excellent defensive player.
You know, Virginia has some really good quality wins, and if they can win their next 3 and win this game here today, they can get into the big dance.
Beaten Georgetown, Florida State, Wake, North Carolina.
Notre Dame as well. Notre Dame's had some big wins this year.
Yeah, but I don't know if you could call beating an 11-11 team a quality win, Dick, regardless of who they've beaten.
Well, I don't know. You know, when you beat North Carolina, Syracuse, pretty good wins they've had. Southern Cal, they're 11-12.
Meek is in for the first time. Eric Meek, the 6'10", 240-pound freshman from Escondido, California. Talk about somebody who hasn't played much. It's him, and he's in there before Cherokee Parks is on the floor.
I think they're sending a message loud and clear to Cherokee. Cherokee, if you want some PT, some playing time, we need a little bit more out of you in terms of your physical ability. You've got to be a little tougher inside.
Parker wants him to clear out that side. He's working against Thomas Hill.
Parker, real good defensive player, limited offensively. Look at Hurley, loves to play defense.
Burrow. Hurley with a long rebound.
Love to use their big guys as passes up on top. See how Laettner slides to the top?
Laettner trying to get on the scoreboard. Meek kept it alive and saved by the Blue Devils. Laettner will try it again, and that may be offensive. It is not. It is a blocking foul.
And the basket went down. Count to go. The Cameron Crazies love it. They've been a little quiet.
Bryant Stith thought he got there in time.
There's the little one-on-one drive. Now here comes the defense rotating over. Half step slow getting over, I thought, Mike. Really, half step slow. Stith says, no, I was there. 2 of the greats ever to play in the ACC, Laettner and Stith.
Laettner 1 for 7 from the floor tonight. First trip to the line. He's been an 80% free throw shooter his entire career. We're tied at 10.
Laettner and Stith played together on the World Championship Games team, coached by Mike Krzyzewski back in 1990 in the Goodwill Games as well.
Alexander got away with a push-off on that move. Stith with the jumper and drains.
Good one-on-one maneuver by Stith to get free for that little medium-range jump shot.
Brian Stith has half a dozen. The real story of this game so far is the fact that Virginia is hit 6-11 from the field. Grant Hill is out 2 to 4 weeks with an ankle injury. If it is indeed 4 weeks, that could take him into the NCAA tournament. Bobby Hurley has made his first appearance since the first loss of the season against North Carolina. Christian Laettner has struggled from the floor. There's Grant Hill. Injured an ankle yesterday in practice. They say it is a high ankle sprain, much like the one Cherokee Parks had earlier in the year. Bobby Hurley came in off the bench. He did not start. Kenny Blakeney started at the point guard. And Hurley, about 30 seconds into his first appearance on the floor, stumbled and appeared to come up limping a little bit. But Dick, the doctor, says he is fine to play.
Yeah, they gave him the clearance to play. I think tonight they need such an emotional lift out of the Cameron Crazies. As we said a little bit earlier, they were really chastised by Mike Krzyzewski after the Maryland game for being very passive.
Clark is in. Marty, the sophomore, loose ball. Alexander will get the jam, and it's a 4-point Virginia lead.
Corey Alexander really playing well early here. He's a combo guard. He gives you a lot of points as well as good leadership and distributing the basketball.
Averages 11 points a game, has 6 so far. Laettner.
Jeffries has done a tremendous defensive job on Laettner on the interior.
Lang will get his jumper from 17. Laettner, offensive rebound, puts it up with the left hand.
That's a great rebound right there by Laettner. Shows that he has those long arms that give him that big wingspan that the pro scouts really love.
5 points for Laettner, and Lang may have gotten a hand on that shot. Laettner with a rebound to Hurley. Ahead to Clark. He'll back off. Nice decision by Marty Clark. Davis got his own rebound. He's fouled before the shot.
Davis in the proper position. They got an excellent alignment against the defense. Get him down there in that tough position to defend with that little overload, and Davis goes to the basket with it.
Foul was on Yuri Barnes, his first, the team's 7th. Duke has committed only 1.
The big problem in the last 2 games has been defense for Duke, and that's something that's really troubled Mike. In fact, Maryland shot 65% against them, and Wake shot 58% against them. And that has not pleased the leader of the pack, Mr. K.
Brian Davis, who's developed better range on his shot this year at the line on the 1-and-1.
I mean, you're standing up like you're in a football game. I'm trying to sit down way up here. We're way high. It's like an oven. We're boiling up here.
If I sit down, I can't see, Dick.
Woo! I can't see anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Alexander kicks it off. And a nice driving shot by Yuri Barnes. And puts Virginia back up by 4. Barnes, the freshman out of Richmond, Virginia. He's only averaging 2 points a game. Excuse me, that was Stith and not Yuri Barnes. And Stith now has 8. This is Hurley.
Great one-on-one maneuver by Stith for that drive.
Alexander nearly had the steal. Look at Laettner leaning in. That's no good, but he draws another foul. Laettner is so good at that.
Well, he's got excellent body control. We were talking yesterday, Christian and I had an interview with him, and we were talking a little bit about when he came out in high school, played with Billy Owens, Alonzo Mourning, Sean Kemp, Stanley Roberts. Tremendous class. Now watch this little head fake inside. Oh, great head fake. Freezes the defender, takes the ball up strong.
Foul on Yuri Barnes was his 2nd, and Kenny Blakeney is back in. Bobby Hurley will sit down after testing that foot. Laettner, whose number was retired tonight in a ceremony before the game. You'll see that at halftime.
He's up there with some special people when you think about Dick Grote, who played here in the 50s. Number 10, the former Pittsburgh Pirate outstanding shortstop Mike Jaminsky, Art Heyman.
Got to see Art Heyman before the game tonight.
Johnny Dawkins, Danny Ferry.
Where's Jeff Mullins? 44 ought to be up there.
You better believe that.
Stith leans into one, can't get it. Laettner with a rebound. Ahead to Blakeney.
Laettner's so versatile. Look at him now, he's trying to post inside. So they're going to double up, so Blakeney's wide open. Blakeney's wide open, he's calling for the rock. He said, come on, Christian, give it up to me.
Davis.
They play some tough defense. Pressure the ball, good help inside. They get excellent help on the interior.
Leitner, who started so poorly, missed his first 5 shots, now has 9 points.
He's going to have a big night, point production-wise. He's really working hard to score tonight. He knows the team needs him, Mike. He knows he has to go to the next level, and that's why he's an All-American.
Tied at 16, Corey Alexander off balance at the baseline. He is fouled by Kenny Blakeney. Virginia, of course, got a huge boost last week when they beat North Carolina, but then turned around and lost to Georgia Tech. So they're still 1 game over 500 overall, 2 under 500 in the conference, Dick. Can they make the NCAA?
Well, I don't think anybody under 500 should get in, but we look right here. Look at the remaining games. They could beat all 3 of these teams. They got Clemson, they got North Carolina State, and Maryland. They're on the road too, but they can beat them. And if they can get 1 win in the ACC tournament, combined with a W here, I believe they must win here. Because you made a great point that they're under 500 in the league.
And no ACC team that has ever been 500 since they went to 64 teams has ever been denied the NCAA tournament. There's the free throw story as usual. Duke dominating. Cherokee Parks comes in for the first time, and Leitner will come out to get a breather.
I read quotes today out of Roy Kramer, who's the head of the committee. He's saying, hey, don't be so sure that teams under 500, because they have some quality wins, will get in. And I like that in a way, because I don't want to see the little guy denied. Like in the past, we've seen teams like Fordham and Siena and Southern Illinois denied because all the big conferences get such a plethora of teams. Like that word? Plethora. I like it. I like it. So I hung around with all the Duke kids today at the student union.
Learn a new word a day. That's right.
I got intelligent. Oh, look at that zoning right now defensively.
Blakeney was open, goes to Davis. Hill drains the 3. Thomas Hill, 44% long-range shooter. Duke is up by 2.
Always plays with intensity, emotion.
Boy, he's overlooked a lot, too, because of the other stars on this team. Burrow, who's an excellent baseline shooter, missed that one.
You got that right, Mike, about Hill being overlooked. Thomas Hill
tries for another 3. Here come the Cavaliers. They've got a 4-on-2. Doug Smith in for the first time. Kicks it back outside. The 3-pointer by Oliver.
Cherokee Parks up on the glass. Doug Smith gives him a little stabilizer out of the point guard position. He's a leader, good little point guard. Blakeney's got to look at the basket. Got to look at the basket. Drive it in the gap against the student. He's got to take it right down the middle.
Wide open. They let him.
Thank you.
He had a toe on the line, so it's a 2-point shot for Kenny Blakeney. Big basket for him.
Well, he's had 2 big baskets. 2 looks at the goal. He scored twice.
Stiff leans into one. Air ball.
Thomas Hill get over the top of the screen.
Oliver, 16-footer, got it down.
They need Anthony Oliver. They need point production out of that second guard slot. He had 21 last year against Duke when they beat Duke 81-64 in a blowout.
That's his first 2 tonight.
Look at Thomas Hill. He wants to go one-on-one. Oh, he's going to dump it. Oh, a little push on the box.
Lang and Burrow working on each other inside. Blakeney guarded by Doug Smith. Parks wants it inside, gets it against Jeffries. Jeffries had to leave it alone playing with those 2 fouls.
I don't think we've seen the real Cherokee Parks yet this year. He's got a lot of physical talent. I believe he's trying to blend and be part of the whole team and hasn't asserted himself.
There's the steal by Blakeney, and he's fouled.
I'll tell you, he has handled the starting assignment thus far well in the first 12 minutes and 43 seconds. Bill Bob Hurley saying, not away, Kenny. Now the pucks come. Team chemistry. That's what they teach here. A unit, a team, blend together. Look at those Blackies. Mike, Monday up in Lawrence, Kansas. They said, Dick, tell all the Cameron crazies they're number 2 to us because the Jayhawk fans really get after it. But what a way to make a living. Sitting here, sitting over in Lawrence, Kansas. Are you kidding me?
Blakeney misses the first shot, shooting 72%. This is his 20th game of the year out of 24.
People have no idea, unless you really know the man, Morgan Wooten, What a high school coach he played under. The man is the John Wooden of high school basketball coaches down at DeMatha.
Morgan Wooten has an unmatchable record as a high school basketball coach. 7:08 to go in the half. Duke up by 4 after Virginia led from the start. Alexander
trying to keep the ball out of Stitt's hands. Davis working hard defensively, trying to front. Now they switch. Parks has him. Now they switch again. Parks can't play him one-on-one. He's got to beat him with the dribble.
And Stitt recognized it, goes to the baseline, and a charge on Brian Stitt.
But what a great play by Davis, rotating over. Stitt did the right thing. He knew he can beat Parks one-on-one. He took him, and Davis came over and gave himself up to help his team.
Brilliant defense by Duke, their trademark. Back in a moment. Timeout.
Excitement that stands out. NCAA basketball coming at you. Powerhouse teams, sharpshooting players, buzzer-beating action. It's Payback Thursday. Can North Carolina avenge their loss to Florida State? Can UCLA and their all-time leading scorer, Don McClain, do the same against USC? Find out if revenge is sweet. Payback Thursday on ESPN.
Bob Hurley obviously doesn't have the same quickness. Look, he's very tentative, a little passive. Now look, he's tough for him to get out of the gate. There's the steal. They go down for the little layup. Bob Hurley can't give him what he normally does, but they have to bank on this guy, number 32. Make himself big inside. He wasn't a force early, but he started to score. He's a hungry player and certainly one of the great players of college basketball. Who do you like? Alonzo Mourning or Christian Laettner will be the question of the senior class of the NBA scouts.
As you saw, Laettner only 3 out of 9 from the floor. Hurley is back in there, and on that breakaway, Bobby Hurley is not going to give you a 3 layup when he's completely healthy, but the doctor has cleared him to play. Parks and Laettner are in there together, and Cherokee Parks with the jumper misses. Oliver rebound.
They got to get the ball to Jeffries a little more and let him score.
Well, they got it to him, and Laettner fouled him, trying to come over the back.
It reminds me a lot of Peplowski up at Michigan State, who has some good post moves, who doesn't touch the rock enough. He's getting it a little bit more and more. Jeff Jones, so young, was an outstanding point guard. Very similar scenario to Ohio State with Randy Ayers getting the job really late.
Jumper by Oliver, and the lead is cut to 2. 6:14 to go first half.
Oliver might like Duke. Like I said, last year had 21 against Duke and a big win for Virginia.
Hurley falls, and we've got a jump ball situation. Possession arrow will give it back to Duke. Of course, you can expect Hurley to be a little out of shape, maybe a little tentative.
Thinking on everything he's doing. Always thinking rather than just reacting.
It's sure nice for the Blue Devil fans to see him back.
Oh, it's great to see him back. He really is a little leader out there. I thought he was the best point guard in America when he was playing
Parks much more aggressive.
I think he got the message from Coach K. Coach K said loud and clear by sending Meek in early, I'm not going to play you, Cherokee, unless you're going to search yourself.
Yeah, he told him you're our 3rd or 4th choice up front. Jeffries with a rare shot. Tip won't go. Laettner another rebound.
He's got the wing. He's got Parks behind him. Oh, are you serious? Coming back from an injury. Hasn't been able to scrimmage in full court. And look at him coming back, hustle on a defensive end. Bob Hurley.
Cornell Parker with a nice catch to keep it alive. Oliver very aggressive in the lane. Missed the shot. Burrow tries to keep it alive and can't.
Hurley with the excellent change of direction. Watch this. Head up. There's the change. Right to left. And then he kisses it on the glass. Converted. And the Cameron Crazy said, we love Bobby.
After you've been hurt, going for a guard to go inside like that and take the chance to really get hammered is the acid test.
They're bowing to Hurley. Look at them. They're bowing him.
They should. The leading all-time assist man for the Blue Devils as a junior broke Tommy Amaker's record.
1-2-2 set. They ran a curl move. They curled for Laettner coming off the screen up to the top of the circle, and he delivers the trifecta.
Tough to beat that. Christian Laettner shoots better than 50% from 22 feet.
Hit 2 big threes to beat LSU when they were in trouble.
Laettner now has 12 of Duke's 30. Stiff going to work on the other end. Can't hit it. Laettner with another rebound.
Here's his versatility. Can handle the rock as well.
Hurley to Davis, and he missed it.
Typical Bob Hurley pass. The only difference, it wasn't the Grant Hill for the slam jam man.
4-on-2. Oliver. Hurley, the only one back, and Oliver cuts it to 7.
Excellent cut by Oliver to the goal. Good 3-on-2 maneuver.
Boy, Duke really slow getting back on defense that time, something you rarely see.
Yeah, defensive transition was very, very slow. See the 1-2-2 set right now. Then they'll slide down inside, go to the boxes, little back screen.
Laettner again from long range.
Can't allow him to shoot it. His mom and dad are smiling big.
That was a 2, and Laettner has 14.
Buffalo, New York, Angola area.
Oh, you missed your first 5 shots, so what?
When you're
shooting that thing.
When you're a great player, you stay on the floor. If you're the 4th or 5th guy, you miss your first 5, you become an assistant coach.
Missed his first 6, he's hit his last 5.
That's a great feeling when you know you're not coming out.
Shot clock down to 15. Barrow blocked by Laettner. Barrow got it back and then lost it, and a foul, and they're pointing at Laettner.
He has really stepped it up a notch, Mike. The last 10 minutes, he has been brilliant. He's been rebounding, blocking shots, scoring, handling the ball. Why couldn't I have his looks? Look at a beautiful-looking guy. I mean, are you kidding me? I wish I had his hair. I'd be a TV star.
3:27 to go in the half. Duke has taken command over Virginia, 32-23.
Magic Moments, presented by Dodge. Danny Manning spent his entire college career at Kansas in the spotlight, but it was his senior season in 1988 that provided the majority of his magic moments. He was honored as a consensus All-American, the College Player of the Year, NCAA Tournament MVP, and an Olympic team member. He finished as the most decorated player in the school's storied history, ending with several NCAA records and countless magic moments.
Thursday at 7:30, number 10 North Carolina against 22nd ranked Florida State. Sam Cassell, one of the surprises in the ACC this year, averaging 18.3 points a game. Carolina expected to challenge for the conference. Florida State is doing it too. And then at 9:30, UCLA against USC in a matchup that means something this time. Number 4 against number 13. Harold Miner had a great first game, 22 points, 6 rebounds to lead the upset for Southern Cal the first time they met.
Harold Miner's one of those special players in college basketball. Very explosive, big-time scorer. Little revenge for the M&M guys. Murray and McLean, they got beat by Southern Cal at home. They'll be ready.
Duke has opened a 9-point lead. This is Cornell Parker outside with Alexander for the Cavaliers. Stiff, nice head fake, and then trapped and turns it over. Great defense by Brian Davis.
Brian Davis, one of those role players you have on a team that's asked to handle a certain role. Tonight his role is to negate Stiff as much as he can. You're not going to contain him all night and control him, but if you can negate his great ability and allow him to struggle to score, you are doing a heck of a job.
What a recovery by Davis, who was faked out initially and then got back in time to be right in Stiff's face again. Davis with a runner. Scores at the other end.
He said, how's that for a role player? I play on the defensive end, and I can show that I can drive. I am really shocked by the minutes that Hurley's getting here tonight.
Corey Alexander cuts the lead back to single digits. Alexander now in with 9 points in the first half.
They told us originally yesterday we wouldn't see him until the Clemson game on March 5th. And
well,
here it is.
If Grant Hill's healthy, I bet you don't see him until then. Hurley for 3.
That's legs. That's fatigue. That shot had fatigue all over it, or a lack of stamina.
Thomas Hill with a miss. Burrow with a rebound.
Burrow played at Oak Hill Academy along with Corey Alexander and Ben Davis, who now plays for Kansas.
Stiff over Cherokee Parks, who came out to try to help. Brian Stiff has 10, and it's 34-27.
Stiff can get into the Elite 11 and become ultimately an NBA lottery selection. A lot of people like him. He's one of those question mark guys, those size-wise.
He has already passed in this game David Thompson for number 6 all-time on the scoring list in the ACC.
One of the greatest college players of all time, David Thompson.
Hurley with a bad miss, loose ball. Cavaliers have it and maintain control. Alexander to Stiff. This is for 3. Air ball, and Burrow puts it back in, 34-29.
Junior Burrow says, nice pass. It was right in the right position. Hard to believe he and Alexander played in high school last year, playing here at a big-time level and competing against a team that was national champs.
They were exceptional in that upset of North Carolina.
Double stack down inside.
Davis triple teamed on the way up. Jump ball situation, and the possession arrow gives it to the Cavaliers.
Duke has a variety of sets it runs. Right here late in the game, they went to a double stack inside. You know, Mike Krzyzewski yesterday after practice, when he received the news about the fact that Grant Hill was injured, he gathered his troops together and he said, let me tell you something. We want no excuses. We will collectively rise to another level, and it's about time you young kids start to grow up and mature. But we will win. Do you understand me? We will win. That's a leader, my friends. Coach K.
Virginia on a 6-0 run, and Burrow forces it up, and he's fouled inside. The foul will be called on Antonio Lang.
Duke foul number 21, Antonio Lang.
5th team foul called against Duke. Virginia's already committed past the 10 limit.
Christian Laettner yesterday in the interview also said that I have to talk positive. We got these young people like Laettner on the floor who really haven't played 25 and 30 minutes, and I have to be the leader and let them know I'm behind them. And I'll tell you, he's demonstrating leadership ability today by playing well.
Burrow in his last 7 games has averaged 14 points and 7 rebounds, so he is really starting to come on in his freshman year. Stiff will come out, get a breather. With 56 seconds to go, they don't want him to pick up a silly foul.
And Mike, 2 of the doctors gave me this today. Dr. Charles Matfield and Sharon Melrose. And it is a study they did of shooting the free throw here, and they found out when the crowd is quiet and they do shh and shake, as just as the guy's getting ready to shoot, they shoot about 36%. When they make a lot of noise, the totals go up. It's amazing. And nothing better to do than take scientific studies of the crowd and the reaction to the shooter on a free throw line.
Lang gets the offensive rebound off Laettner's miss, but commits the personal foul in the process. Number 2 on Antonio Lang with 40 seconds to go in the half. And Virginia, which was momentarily down by 11, has scrapped its way back into this game. They're down by only 4. Now Laettner will come out and Meek will come back in. Both coaches trying to ensure that their star players don't pick up cheap fouls in the closing moments of the half.
I think Jeff Jones is going through the same moments that Bobby Krementz playing 2 freshmen exclusively. Guys like Forrest and Best with Alexander and Burrow. You go up and down. They're talented, but it's very difficult to be consistent with young
Shot clock is off. 20 seconds on the game clock. Alexander gets to the baseline.
Oh, nice pass.
Good feed to Burrow, who made the nice move around Meek and scored 9 straight points for the Cavaliers. They've cut the lead to 2.
Those were 2 diaper dandies making that play happen.
Blakeney throws it away. Thomas Hill, desperation shot at the buzzer, comes up short. And the Cavaliers with a 9-point run have offset the excellent offensive half of Christian Laettner to get back into this ball game. At the half, it's Duke 34, the visiting Cavaliers 32. Right now, we'll go back to the studio and join Chris Fowler. Chris?
All right, Mike, thank you. So Duke may be getting tired at the end of the half. That's what Krzyzewski was concerned about, the end of the half and the end of the game. Too many guys playing too many minutes. We shall see. Now, at halftime, we'll have scores and highlights. There's a top 25 team in deep trouble on the road. Plus, we'll take a look at that wild finish, Georgetown and Seton Hall, and the bubble team. Jim Valvano will join me right after this.
ESPN's NCAA basketball is brought to you by Subaru. It's what to drive. And by Federal Express. All around the world, our most important package is yours.
The best that Duke basketball history has to offer have their numbers retired at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Dick Grote, National Player of the Year in 1951, All-American in both basketball and baseball. Art Heyman, 3-time All-American, the 1963 Consensus National Player of the Year. 3-time All-American Mike Jaminski, the #1 scorer and rebounder in Duke history. Johnny Dawkins broke Jaminski's scoring record and led Duke to an NCAA record 37 wins in 1986. Danny Ferry was a 2-time All-American and led Duke to 3 Final Fours, National Player of the Year as a senior. And now Christian Laettner, who has led Duke to the last 3 Final Fours, including last year's championship. He won the MVP award. Tonight, number 32 joins this elite group. That was the scene here at Cameron Indoor Stadium before tonight's game as Christian Laettner got the frame number 32 and joined that very, very elite group. Mike Patrick along with Dick Vitale back with you at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Christian Laettner got off to a slow start, but like the All-American he is, he came on strong and now leads everybody in scoring again.
Well, he missed his first 6 shots, and then all of a sudden he got himself really rolling. Here he is on the interior. He's going to try to post up real big. They're going to dump him the ball down on the inside. Number 32. Watch him make himself really big, and then he knows what to do. Once the ball gets in his hands, he converts it. And now we're going to take a look at his shot chart, and this tells you where he shot. See the X's? That means he made it. The zeros are where he came up empty. He can also shoot on the perimeter. See the 2 X's on the outside and 3 down inside. He's already scored 14 points, 8 rebounds, provided leadership, and given Duke the opportunity to be up on a plus side by 2. Remember, this is not the same Duke team. It's without Mr. Grant Hill, and it's with a Bob Hurley that's playing with guts and heart, but really doesn't have the stamina.
Numbers on Christian Laettner, 14 points, 8 rebounds. The Blue Devils did not shoot as well in the first half as they normally do. They lead the nation as a team in field goal percentage, shooting 55% in the first half, 41 here. Free throws, as usual, they dominate there. Rebounds, Duke only 1. And Virginia turned it over 7 times, and Duke 4. Thomas Hill back to the attack the other way. He missed. Lang missed the follow and then lost it out of bounds.
Antonio Lang getting a lot of playing time. Another factor Mike was really concerned about yesterday, when he looked in the Wake Forest game, for example, Blakeney, Cherokee Parks, and Marty Clark played 30 minutes, 0 points, 2 rebounds, and he feels it's about time they start to contribute.
He wants the youngsters to step up, especially with the injury to Hurley and to Grant Hill now. And if you join us late, he will be out 2 to 4 weeks with an ankle sprain. Davis off Alexander's miss.
That was a smart play, though, by Alexander, challenging Bob Hurley, taking the ball right at him to make him play on the defensive end.
Laettner, offensive foul called on Christian Laettner.
Defense rotated over really well. Jeff Jones does an outstanding job, he and his staff, teaching man-to-man defense. Their principles and their execution is just perfect. It's a constant team defense. See, Laettner beats his man initially, but the defense rotates over. Rotating is a key whenever you're playing good, help man-to-man defense.
That is 3 personal fouls on Christian Laettner.
How big would it be if he got his 4th? Especially early.
Oliver low to stiff, working on Laettner. Missed the shot. Jeffrey's got a hand on it, but Hurley will come out with. Bobby played 9.5 minutes in the first half. His first action since the first North Carolina game.
Trying to set up a little 2-man game here for Laettner. He's going to set a back screen and step out. See, Laettner's going to step out off the back screen. Goes opposite wherever he enters the ball.
Hurley can't handle the tough pass from Lang, who gunned it across. And look at the scratch on Bobby Hurley's mouth, apparently bleeding from the mouth.
I'll tell you one thing. Out of St. Anthony's in Jersey City, he's played on the playgrounds. He's been a battler, a fighter, a scrapper, and a winner. Played for his dad, who won his 500th game about a month ago at St. Anthony's.
Virginia with a chance to tie or take the lead, and Oliver misfired.
Laettner's going to have big numbers today in terms of rebounding and also scoring.
Here's Hurley, lost control for a second. Here's a foul before a shot. They'll call it on Oliver. And Dick, this brings to mind I believe it's the international rule now. If somebody is bleeding on the court, they stop the game immediately until that player can stop the blood flow.
Yeah, he had removed that player from the game. They put that rule in, and basically, I guess it's related to the AIDS factor.
Sure, the Magic Johnson rule, a lot of people call it.
Any player that's bleeding would have to come out of the game and cannot enter until they're positive that all the bleeding has been curtailed.
Thomas Hill, bad pass, the steal by Stith, and the foul by Davis.
Good foul by Davis. You know, you mentioned earlier that he passed David Thompson. If I had to pick the best small forward in all of college basketball, in the history of watching the game, David Thompson was my choice. What a job he did for Norm Sloan the year they won the national championship and the year prior. David, I'd put Mr. Jabbar in the middle as a collegiate.
Well, Stith has passed David Thompson on the ACC record, and there is the jam from Pearl. He passed him tonight. He has a chance to pass Jeff Lamp later tonight with a couple of more points. We are tied at 34. Davis drains. It's a 2.
Pretty good when you get your fourth option who can give you production like Davis.
Corey Alexander back the other way, fouled by Hurley.
See what Alexander's doing right now, and I believe that was an adjustment they made at halftime. Jeff Jones, he is really attacking Hurley. Every time he has the basketball, he is dribbling and trying to beat Hurley to the basket because he knows he has not been able to practice and really apply himself in a practice situation physically.
Lack of conditioning.
Stamina.
36-34, Duke by 2.
See, he wants to beat him again. He wants to beat him again.
Oliver, who has taken more shots tonight than he took in the entire North Carolina game a week ago, being much more aggressive, but not hitting many.
That was a big win, beating Carolina. Nice dump down.
Great feed from Antonio Lang to Christian Laettner, who now has 16.
That's why they shoot better than 50% as a team. As you said earlier, lead the nation. Unselfish shot selection, high percentage shot.
We approach the 17-minute mark. It is Duke by 4, the nation's #1 team that has suffered 2 losses.
They want to take it right at Laettner.
Jeffries does and does it with the left hand, and Laettner did not offer any opposition. The first 2 points of the night for Jeffries.
Jeffries should take the ball, pump fake, and drive to the goal. Make them have to play him on the defensive end.
Laettner with those 3 personal fouls.
The Ennis was called for a push there against Jeffries. Exchange along the baseline, horizontal screen by Laettner.
And Hurley had the bounce pass picked off by Alexander.
He's got great control of his dribble, Alexander.
Into the lane, the shot won't go, and Thomas Hill had it, lost it, and they say it's off Stith, out to Duke.
Alexander challenging Hurley has got to convert. He has taken him one-on-one, but he's got to make sure that he can convert some. He's 0 for like 3 in the second half trying to attack him.
Stith has been stuck on 10 points, and now Hurley will get a breather. And Kenny Blakeney comes back in at point guard for the Blue Devils.
Never heard of the name. Kenny Blakeney playing a lot of minutes tonight because of Grant Hill on the sideline.
Great save by Stith. And Alexander has it picked away by Hill. Ahead to Blakeney.
What a tremendous play by Hill defensively. Great anticipation, steps in a passing lane, instincts, knows he's got a teammate, releasing to the basket, gets the ball out to him quickly.
Jeffries, nice backdoor cut by Oliver.
Oliver, good movement without the basketball. One of the areas of college basketball that a lot of players do not execute, motion without the ball.
Oliver, who averages 6.7 points a game this year, has been a disappointment. He has 8 so far tonight. He has cut the lead to 2.
Oh, they're throwing a high lob to the baseline to Laettner.
Laettner lost it on the way up, out of bounds to Virginia.
I'll tell you one thing, Jeffries really knows how to utilize his wide body. He's a member of my all-Kirby Puckett team. He's got that wide body like Puckett. Oh, there's the good anticipation. Step in the lane, the instincts, flips it out, and Blakeney gets the easy deuce.
Championship week starts March 7th. 24 conference finals out of 33 games. You think you've alienated your wife already? Try this. 24 conference finals, ACC, Big 8, and the Southeastern Conference, the championship games. It all begins March 7th. Hope you'll join us on ESPN.
That's an exciting time. The daddy of them all, the ACC championship, will be on ESPN.
Stiff had that one partially blocked. Looked like Davis got a finger on it. This is Blakeney. Leitner for three.
When in doubt, Blakeney says, I want to get an assist, so I bring the rock over to the All-American. Shoot it, Christian. Get me an assist in the stat sheets.
Christian Leitner, 19 points, 10 rebounds. He knew he had to pick up his game tonight, and he's done it. Foul before the shot. This one will be called on Thomas Hill.
Like against most teams, that would have been a layup for Virginia with the backdoor cut. But not against Duke. They don't break down defensively after the initial mistake, allowing the backdoor cut. Here comes the rotation. They do a great job rotating over, and they make it difficult for Jeff Jones's team to get the good look at the basket.
Junior Burrow will come back in. 43-38, Duke by 5. That was the fourth team foul called on the Blue Devils here in the second half. Virginia has committed just one. Usually with Duke involved, it's the other way around. Burrow goes right to work on Cherokee Parks.
He's a big-time player, Mike. This kid, a diaper dandy, he's one of the premier freshmen in America. Big force down at the baseline.
He's out of Charlotte, North Carolina, has 11 points so far. Smith is in, guarding Blakeney at point guard for Virginia. Parks. Oh, tough shot, Cherokee Parks.
Cherokee Parks, coming out of the high school, was one of the real big-time players, along with Chris Webber. Hey, by the way, Michigan, Webber, they got blown out today by Wisconsin. Steve Yoda, who's going to step aside after this year. What a great win for the Badgers.
Stiff finds the wide open Doug Smith, and Smith cuts it to three.
Doug Smith really gives him solid minutes when he's on the floor. Doesn't take a bad shot, plays tough defensively. Look at him right here.
Thomas Hill, nice pump fake.
Thomas Hill, big-time player, played on a Pan Am team, coached by Gene Cady. Athletic, can run up and down the floor.
The lead is 5. Burrow.
Junior Burrow. Are you serious? This kid's a freshman. You look at his body. You look at the way he handles the basketball. Great rotation, as you said. What a player he's going to be at Virginia.
He is 6'8", 240, solid as a rock. The lead cut back to 3. Leitner low against Jeffries. There's that Jack Sigma move to straighten up. Smith going for the steal, and the foul will either be on Smith or Blakeney. Who gets it?
Leitner's such a good passer. That's another part of his game that makes him so special.
Foul is called on Doug Smith. It's only the second team foul against the Cavaliers with 13:03 to go in the game. Smith will come out. Corey Alexander back in for Jeff Jones.
Jeff Jones was such a solid point guard. A lot of point guards become coaches. I'll bet you Bob Hurley Jr. becomes a coach eventually.
Wouldn't doubt it a bit.
Mike Krzyzewski was a point guard. Gary Williams was a point guard.
Hill lost control on the way in. Parks, who was so much more aggressive than we've seen him all year. But Lang gets the offensive rebound and the follow. Antonio Lang has more offensive than defensive rebounds this year.
Good offensive rebounding position.
Stiff with a miss and a rebound at Thomas Hill.
He's got it. What a great look. What a pass. Oh, baby. That's Bob Hurley. He is back. He is back.
Hurley with an in the air. Perfect pass to Davis. The lead is 7. Woo! Burrow fouled by Cherokee Parks, and even that won't quiet the crowd.
He had it one step away. Here they come out of the gate. The Devils, number 1. Look at Hurley. He says, take it, baby. And BD, Mr. Davis says it's Jam City. Oh, yes. What a look by the little guy. And his daddy jumps out of his seat in Jersey City, and he screams, that away, son.
Number
51-44. The lead is up to 7. Yuri Barnes will come in for Virginia. Jeffries will get a breather. Duke has hit 8 of 10 shots here in the second half to regain the lead.
Also able to rest Leitner right now with those 3 fouls.
For one of the few times tonight you can say, or a few times this year, Thomas Hill with not a smart play goes out and fouls the jump shooter.
Right now, Virginia's got to make a little run with Christian sitting on that sideline.
And he fouled him in the act of a three-point shot, so there will be 3 free throws.
You know, I mentioned a little bit earlier about Wisconsin. I really think I'm going to give you 3 guys they should go after for that job. How's Mike Jarvis down at George Washington? He'd be a great choice at Wisconsin. What about John Calipari up Massachusetts? Perry Clark at Tulane? They fit that whole situation. Down at Wisconsin, if I were on that committee, you better believe charisma and excitement is what I'd be looking for. A guy that can sell. Wisconsin's a great school, there's no doubt.
Let me give you another one. Parker misses the first free throw. Steve Yoder.
Yeah, Steve Yoder, really, when you think about it, it's too late now, though, after X number of years. It's really, really sad because Yoder did everything the right way. Look at this, they're doing a hop. They're doing a hop. It's unbelievable. There are 5 different situations. They have the hop, the whirl, the lean and shift, the shh. See, when you do the shh, the teams usually shoot 9 for 36. These 2 doctors did a science.
Where do you come up with this?
Somebody gave it. It's still the 5. Then there's the egg beater. It appeared in Sports Illustrated.
Parker misses 2 out of 3, then got it back, committed the foul. Jeff Jones right near the face of the referee, did not like it as Parker hustled after the loose ball.
Jeff Jones knows how big this game is. 12 and 11. They're hanging. Mike Krzyzewski knows how big it is. A win would give them a tie for the ACC title and a little closer to getting the #1 seed in the East, which would mean they would play in Greensboro the first 2 games, which is a situation where there'd be no travel.
Duke has certainly been fortunate with the games they have lost tonight, or lost this year. They have lost them when their main opposition for the #1 spot in the country have also lost. Leitner to Hurley. This is a 3. Look at the hustle. The Blue Devils get those loose balls, but this time stepped on the baseline did Brian Davis, and it's out to Virginia. The Cavaliers continue to hang around. They trail by 6 with 11:53 to go. 11 minutes, 53 seconds to go from Cameron Indoor Stadium in Durham, North Carolina, where Duke is leading Virginia 51-45. Bobby Hurley made his return to the lineup tonight. He did not start, but played 9.5 minutes and has played most of the second half. And a welcome return for him. Davis, Thomas Hill, and several other Duke players, including Antonio Lang, have really picked up their games tonight.
I'll tell you, how big is this game for Mike today at his team meeting? He frantically made sure he went out. As you look at Grant Hill, called his beautiful wife up. He said, "Mrs. K, please go get the movie Robin Hood. I want to get my team motivated." And he played the movie Robin Hood with Kevin Costner to get these guys fired up.
Junior Burrow with a miss, knocked out of bounds out to Virginia. Bryant Stith has missed all 3 shots in the second half and held to 10 points. That's what he had in the first half, and they really need him.
Davis has played him really tough, making it very difficult for him to get the easy look at the basket.
Alexander, tough shot, drained it from the lane. The lead down to 4. Alexander now has 11.
Alexander and Burrow are so talented. And with this year of experience, if they can get a taste of the NCAA tournament, what a tremendous plus for those kids.
Davis threw it away. He thought Leitner would come out toward the top of the key to get it and did not. And now Hurley makes a steal at the other end, gives it to Davis.
But it really was created by the denial by Davis, really stepping into the passing lane. He's so valuable because he can play against bigger people defensively. It's good quickness.
Burrow and Antonio Lang really working each other over inside. Missed shot, rebound. Thomas Hill knocked away by Corey Alexander.
Thomas Hill with those long arms.
Right, Jeffries will come back in the ballgame for Virginia, give them a little more beef inside.
Right now with their injuries on a perimeter with Hurley and Grant Hill, a guy by the name of Billy McCaffrey would look good in this uniform, now sitting down at Vanderbilt.
Hurley inbounds to Leitner, 10:44 to go in the game.
To a coach, you never have enough players.
Leitner got away from Jeffries, and now he has 21.
Talking to Keith Drum yesterday, the head scout for the Portland Trailblazers. The reason the pro scouts love Leitner is versatility and his long wingspan.
The number 3 scorer, number 4 rebounder in Duke history. Hurley gets it to Hill. Little jump step, missed it. Stiff with a rebound.
He shot that with his right hand. He's a left-handed player.
Contact, no whistle. Hurley tried to draw the charge. Here's Stiff. His jumper won't go. Thomas Hill back the other way to Hurley.
He's got the trailer. Yes, sir. He's got the trailer. You can see it all the way. Communicated trail. He talks to him. He says, Hurley, I'm behind you, baby. Give me the rock.
Hill has 11. The lead has grown back to 8.
A lot of guys love to score. Hurley likes to give up the basketball. It looks like Duke right now is playing a little matchup defense, so you can rush your players out of a 2-3. Give them a little rest. Look at that defense.
Leitner with another block.
Those are those long arms I was talking about.
Hurley and
oh, he missed
they can
them.
really pick up the pace. Lang was wide open, but Leitner throws a 3.
You better get a TO, Mr. Oh, Mr. Jones, get a timeout. Basketball Jones, call a TO, baby.
Five, four,
3, 2.
And we are underway. To the back.
Oh! With a little showtime ball.
There's the 3 again. He hits. Whambo.
Wow. And wow.
Oh, about a place to rock. There it is. Here they go. Boom, bam, bingo.
Showtime.
Yes, sirree. Oh, what a play.
It'll count.
58-47, Duke over Virginia with 9 minutes and 7 seconds to go in the ball game. Christian Leitner has been brilliant in this one. 24 points, 11 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 steals. And this is after he missed his first 6 shots. He's hit 9 of 11 since then.
I'll tell you one thing, he's been played very tough defensively. He has really earned those deuces here tonight. Good look here, good camera work by our guy Chip Dean, one of the best in the business.
Under 9 minutes to go. Brilliant night for Leitner. He said before the game he had to pick it up. And there's Brian Stiff, who has really had a tough second half.
He wants the ball. Isn't that a sign of great players, Mike? They want the ball. A little air ball right there.
And Burrow had it go right through his hands, out of bounds to the Blue Devils.
Hey, why are some guys blessed with everything? This guy's got good looks, good athletic ability. He's going to have a lot of money when he becomes a pro. I mean, that's not fair. Some guys get everything.
Well, you got part of it.
I don't have anything. Ugly.
Thomas Hill.
Trying to get a 2-man play, wants to dump it inside. Good defense right there, posted. And then he finally gets him in a little mug inside. Lenny Wirtz.
Burrow picks up the foul. That's 2 on Junior Burrow. Stiff, 10 points. Has only gotten 4 shots in the entire second half. He has missed them all.
He's had one good shot really here, I think, in the second half. Good job defensively by the Duke team.
Hurley for 3.
I think
Leitner another rebound.
His legs are affected right now. It's really hurting his shot. Oh, what a bump by Leitner. Oh, that's got to be a little intentional maybe right there. What do you think?
I'll wait for the replay.
I think it was frustrating. I really do. I think it was a frustrating moment. Teddy right now is seeing Leitner dominate. He came up, laid a little hit on him.
Number 3 on the junior from Bowie, Maryland.
His body, his momentum might have been carried him that way. We're so high, but he definitely made contact, and Lenny Wirtz was right there. You know, Jeffries really has done a good job defensively. It's hard to say that when you look at the point totals, but it's pretty tough to hold a guy like Leitner down all night.
Hurley got it into Davis. Off balance, he got it in anyway.
He's having a heck of a night, Davis, defensively, scoring.
He has 8 points, and it's the biggest lead of the game, 60-47.
And here he is right on with a deflection against State.
Davis and Hill can really lay some defense on you.
Deflections are so important. It means that you're being aggressive. A lot of coaches chart deflections. Rick Pitino started it down in Kentucky. Learned from U.B. Brown with the Knickerbockers when he served as an assistant.
This is Cornell Parker, who's working in the backcourt with Alexander.
2-3 right now, defense by Duke.
Leitner with another rebound.
Oh, right now they missed Davis wide open.
Christian Leitner has 13 rebounds tonight.
Well, we said he's going to have a big night with point totals and rebounds. Came out, really asserted himself. They got the good angle for him now. They reverse the ball. He's wide open at the foul line.
Leitner leans into it.
Oh, no, are you serious?
Got it.
Oh, that's unbelievable, baby. That's unbelievable.
Christian Leitner has 26 on the night they retire his jersey. Great pass from Jeffries to Junior Burrow.
Good two-man game. Jeffries gets it over to the baseline, and Burrows finalizes.
That ends an 11-0 run, but the lead is still at 13.
Cherokee Parks has played a lot better tonight as well, Mike.
He has.
He's going to lay a back screen.
Well, you certainly hope for Duke's sake that 2 to 4 week estimate on the injury to Grant Hill comes up on the short end of it. And here's the foul on the rebound try.
It's going to be interesting watching a matchup, Duke against UCLA. Grant Hill not going to be in that game. Unfortunately, in that game, also Eddie O'Bannon. I thought O'Bannon at UCLA and also Grant Hill. I thought they were the two best high school seniors. Here's Duke's upcoming schedule at UCLA, at Clemson, then a game with the Tar Heels, and then the ACC tournament. North Carolina played so brilliantly in the game we had when Montross and Salvador really made life miserable for Leitner and had really a tremendous night there at North Carolina.
Really, for one of the few times in his career, he had 2 cracks at tying that game down the stretch and couldn't do it. And he'll come out with his 4th personal foul.
I still say this, Mike. The Cameron Crazies right here, this environment is Uno #1 in America. You can go all around the nation, and I love going to a lot of facilities, and there's a lot of spirit, but there is just absolutely something very unique and different when you arrive here at Cameron Indoor Stadium.
Well, what really helps is that the kids are courtside. The student section is right on the floor, not up in the rafters.
Amen. They give them their priority. This is their school.
That's right.
But I'm going to run their little 2-3 foul line extended game, trying to get a backdoor cut or get a dribble penetration out of this set.
Working on the clock with only 6:21 left in the game and up by 13.
And it takes help away defensively. Now they slide down. Once the clock goes down, they slide into a 1-2-2 stack.
Hurley against Doug Smith. Drops it off for Blakeney. Cherokee Parks tried to keep it alive. Stitt had it. Parks got it back. Still loose, and Jeffries comes out. And ahead of the pack is Burrow.
Junior Burrow with a little power jam. That Oak Hill Academy had to be special with Burrow and Ben Davis from Kansas on the team, along with Corey Alexander.
Burrow has 17. The lead is cut to 11. Davis trying to clear out against Stitt. Got caught up in the air and makes the bad pass.
He went to a little dribble penetration. As you said, he was up in the air.
Parker for 3. That cuts it to 8.
Good timeout should be coming up right now by Coach K. Parker, not normally a long-range shooter, an outstanding defensive player.
Christian Leitner will not get much of a breather. He'll come back when we come back.
Are you? Michigan's explosive Fab Five take it to the hole against Jim Jackson and Ohio State. Then it's LSU's Shaq against Arkansas's Mayday attack. As big as it gets. Big Tuesday. Live on ESPN.
Virginia has scored the last 7 points to cut the lead down to 8 with 5:29 to go in the ball game. And they are doing this, Dick, without Bryant Stith, who has not been able to score for them in the second half. And his teammates have really stepped up. And now Christian Leitner will come back in the ballgame for Duke. Mike Krzyzewski thought he got a long enough rest seeing that run.
Take a look at those numbers tonight. 26 points, 13 rebounds, 10 for 19 from the field left on an 0 for 6 start. And perfect at the free throw line. Bryant Stith, in fairness to him, really right now defenses can really key on him because there's just not enough offensive help around him. But this kid is a positive player and really a classy guy. Speak to him for 5 minutes and you want him on your team.
Oh, he's a great kid, and he's only had 4 shots. They have to do a better job of getting Stith the basketball, like they do with Leitner. Hurley.
Good two-man play. See, Bobby Hurley recognized that he was having trouble shooting from deep in three-point range. Cheats up a little bit and gets himself the 16-foot shot.
Bobby Hurley has not been limping since he's been on the court. There is Stitt, double teamed, had it knocked away. Good head fake, missed the hoop, got the tip.
What an unbelievable play by Stitt. Has the head fake to get free for the little jumper and then utilizes the left hand for the tip with the fingertips.
Stitt has a dozen. He needs one more point to become Virginia's all-time leading scorer and number 4 in the history of the ACC. Excuse me, number 5 in the history of the ACC.
Duke trying to spread the floor. Hill wants to beat him with a dribble. That's why Duke goes to the free throw line a lot right here with that dribble penetration.
Kicked, and they will recycle the shot clock. And that's not really a good play by Smith because it does give Duke more time to run off.
You know, Bob Hurley, I don't think ever dreamt that he would be playing the minutes that he's playing tonight. When we saw him yesterday, he was just standing around shooting free throws with Grant Hill and just shooting the ball.
Well, he looks like he's dragging a little bit with the hands on the hips every time he gets a chance. Now Virginia will have to come out and pressure as much as it can.
There's that 2-3 setup. Everybody foul line extended above the foul lane to take away any kind of help. Spread the court, try to get a backdoor cut or a dribble penetration move in an isolation. And then when the shot clock goes down, rotate into a set.
Shot clock now at 20.
They're starting to slide now. See, now they go into a 1 double stack, and they put it in Hurley's hands to try and create somebody will pop off the stack. There it is, the little curl right off the stack.
Hurley for 3.
He's not close from out there, really not close at all, and it's really all legs. You shoot a basketball with the legs as well as you do with your arm.
Big possession here, Dick. 64-56, 3.5 minutes to go.
Stitt really tough.
Thomas Hill will be called for a pushing foul away from the ball. That is 3 on Thomas Hill. Looked like an inadvertent play.
Duke has really picked it up here today defensively. They received a lecture from Mike Krzyzewski their last 2 games. 65% shooting by Maryland, 58% by Wake Forest, and that's not the way you win national championships. You have to put teams about 41% and lower if you want to get into that national championship corner.
Parker, you see tonight, he's hit only 1 of 3. These are big shots, and he misses, but there's the follow by Jeffries. Big bucket.
I like Jeffries, yet he doesn't touch the ball enough offensively.
The lead cut to 6, 3:10 to go.
Duke really didn't play well at the end of the game at winning time against Wake Forest. They really played very poorly, something that Mike was very upset about.
Hurley fouled by Alexander on the drive. That's before the shot. And that will only be the 6th team foul against Virginia. So non-shooting, and Hurley will inbound.
Colorado getting beat by 12 by, wow, Illinois with a blowout. What a job Lou Henson is doing with a team that's really limited in terms of its offensive ability.
Leitner. Hurley trying to work on the clock, kicks it out to Hill. They got a new shot clock after the last foul. Still 33 seconds to go on that.
Virginia needs a real stop right here. They got to come up with a big, this is a big possession. They need a big stop defensively. Remember, if Duke wins, they tie for the ACC title and get a little step closer to the #1 seed. And that means they'll be in the East in Greensboro.
Shot clock at 14.
Virginia needs this win. If they lose here tonight, it's almost impossible to get into the NCAA tournament unless they win the ACC championship.
Jeffrey comes out to pick up Hurley. Leitner.
Good night. Get the bus ready to roll, baby. I think the bus driver is putting the key in the engine, getting it started to head to the hotel.
Christian Leitner has 29.
He's done it all tonight. He's blocked shots. He's provided leadership.
Parker tries to hit his second 3 and can't. Jeffries with a rebound. He's fouled by Brian Davis.
Don't want to foul there, Brian. Not a good play. Cavaliers, I really believe their problem is very simple. They are very young at key positions. And anytime you have young people like that and the league is competitive as the ACC, I'll tell you one thing I've liked here tonight. We haven't said one thing about the officials. I really believe this. Fred Barakat, former coach, as the head of the officials, does a phenomenal job, as does Rich Falk in the Big Ten. I think Jim Delaney made a great choice in bringing in a guy who's a former coach in the Big Ten. I think these guys have a better way of communicating with the coaches and with everyone involved in a game.
Virginia's really been hurt by free throws and their inability to make them, and now Duke will try to burn more time off the clock. And Lenny Wirtz down there running this officiating crew tonight is one of the best around and has been for a long, long time.
And he loves blowing a whistle.
Lang fouled by Burrow. Of course, as Dick mentioned, if Duke goes on to win this game, they would be guaranteed of at least a tie for the regular season ACC title. They would go to 12-2 and still 2 games ahead of North Carolina in the loss column. They will face Carolina coming up last regular season game of the year.
Well, you know, you tell Mike yesterday, hey, you got a big date with UCLA. He says, date with UCLA? He said, that's a great game. Intersectional, it'll be exciting, but this game has meaning. This is for an ACC title in terms of the regular season.
Oh, he's certainly not denigrating the game against UCLA, but conference games for everybody mean so much more.
Just like UCLA with their big game Thursday night on ESPN against Southern Cal, against George Raveling, who I hope stays in coaching rather than pushing the papers and become an executive director of the NABC. Guys like George with his positive attitude really are needed around young people.
Lead at 10, now grows to 11 with a minute 34 to go. Parks will come back in. And talking to Christian Laettner, they all stay in there together. Antonio Lang will check back in at the next opportunity, and now Virginia reduced to taking some long-range shots, probably. Burrow goes to the baseline and gets the 2, and Virginia will burn a timeout with a minute 22 seconds to go as they cut it to 9. The Cavaliers trying to avoid having their record fall to 12-12.
You know, I enjoy visiting there, and when I do, and you see your jersey in the rafters, it's just something, you know, that makes your heart just pound. Like, you know, that's really special, something that'll always be there.
You know, to go back and, you know, feel like you're definitely still a big part of the program and a part of the building. You know, you left a part of you there, and your numbers there. It's a special feeling.
Joining Johnny Dawkins and Danny Ferry, Christian Laettner with his jersey number 32 retired tonight. And certainly has made the most of it. 29 points, 13 boards. Remember, he missed his first 6 shots, so he's hit 11 of the last 14, and his team has a 9-point lead.
Has a chance for a lot of beautiful things to happen for him. Chance maybe to be another national championship team winner. Chance to be the first player in the NBA draft. Chance to be on the Olympic team.
Laettner scores, the basket counts, and he's fouled.
What a great job executing and beating the trap. Reversing the ball, bringing it to the middle of the floor, finding the trail man and attacking the defense and converting. There they are with the trail there. He's going to use the left hand, kicking on the glass. He's an All-American first team. And here's my All-ACC team. Hurley, Williams in the backcourt, Laettner in the middle, Stiff and Gugliotta forwards. Hey, Rogers and Hill coming off the bench. Some people said Rodney Rogers has to be on there. I ask you one question. Who do you remove?
Oh, that's your decision. I'm not getting into that. Every year, you go to make up an all-conference team down here, and you have to leave off 2 or 3 great players. Here is Stiff. Jeffries. Nice pump fake and puts it back in, 72-62.
Good effort right there by Jeffries on the offensive boards. Spread the court, get it out of your hands before the foul can come. Oh, yes, the good no-look. There's the jab. Hurley is back. Hurley is back.
And one of the Virginia players is down. Somebody ran into the scorer's table. And Lenny Wirtz has stopped the game, and I don't know who it was. Somebody went diving on the press trying to go for the steal.
Didn't see the play. We're way up here.
Stiff almost did it, but it wasn't him. Bryant is on his feet. And we'll check the identity of the Virginia player just as soon as we can. But you could hear the thump all the way up here, and we're told it's Corey Alexander.
He's sitting up, though. That's a great sign. You know, we want to also send our best wishes to Max. Crowder, the outstanding athletic director. I think he's one of the best. You know, Max just does a phenomenal job. He's hospitalized, and we send our love and our feeling for you, Max. Everybody here at Duke loves you.
And to Gene Corrigan, the athletic director of the Atlantic Coast Conference, the commissioner of the Atlantic Coast Conference, who has been ill recently. We understand he's feeling better.
One of the premier administrators in college athletics. Was an athletic director at Virginia, Gene, at one time. Also at Notre Dame, and now the commissioner in the ACC. And we have the pleasure of having his son, Timmy, work with us.
The lead is 12. Time running out for the Cavaliers.
Oh, the bus is really heating up. It's coming down near the locker room. The bus is there.
Brian Stiff has just become the leading scorer in Virginia basketball history. He just passed Jeff Lamp and also became the #6 scorer in ACC history. Wow. And here is Stiff, Lamp, Wilkinson, Sampson, and Wally Walker, the top 5 for the Cavaliers. Now he's working on the top 5 list in the ACC. A brilliant career for Brian Stiff. Tonight alone, he passed David Thompson and Jeff Lamp. Next, only 5 points away, is Mike Jaminski.
He's had a brilliant career, and he's been such a team leader from day one. He was Rookie of the Year as Arkansas would have went on a roll. And have him next week. I can't wait to go to Barnhill against LSU. Alabama win the Plaid Man. Ricky Pitino shooting the trifecta. Still gets another W.
Sports Center coming up following our telecast. Dan Patrick and Tom Mee standing by. Ohio State with a tough road test. The Warriors, Texas two-step. We'll look for that one, and homecoming for Pat Riley. Stay tuned for all the details on all the college and pro action coming your way. 30 seconds left, 74-64. So the Blue Devils of Duke will raise their record to 22-2, 12-2 in the conference, guaranteed a remaining #1 and guaranteed at least a share of the ACC regular season title.
Hey, you always put me on a spot. I'm going to put you on a spot. It's going to be interesting when they have the vote for Player of the Year. I'm on the committee for the Wooden Award and the Naismith Award. Grant Hill ultimately, eventually, will be in that battle. But this guy right here is certainly going to get a lot of votes. Who do you vote for? Christian Laettner, Shaquille O'Neal, Jimmy Jackson? Who's Mike Patrick's choice?
Right now, those are the 3 I'd go for out of all the choices you have. Shaquille, obviously, the most dominant player in the middle. I think Laettner, the most versatile big guy up front. And Jackson is the best guard. So
give me one, please.
I'll get down to those 3, Dick.
Give me one. Give me one.
No.
Give me one.
Hey, we still got a couple of games left to go in the season.
I think this guy's running for politics. Oh, there's the hug. Mike Kay says, I love you, Bobby. And all the Duke fans say the same. They love seeing number 11.
4 points, 9 assists for Bobby Hurley in his return. And tonight also marks the absence of Grant Hill with that ankle injury. Laettner misses a rare free throw, but it's academic at this point. The lead is 10 with 22 seconds to go. Stiff for 3, drains the long-range jumper.
Brian
Stiff with 17 points.
He has really improved his range as a shooter from his rookie year when he was Rookie of the Year in the ACC. No, Davis wants to finish it. He wants to put the exclamation point, and the bus driver has just taken the bus right down by the locker room door for the Cavaliers. BD, Brian Davis says, I'm bad. I'm bad.
Davis, Lang, and Thomas Hill stepped up their games, and Christian Laettner had a brilliant night for the Duke Blue Devils. 32 points, 13 rebounds, just a brilliant game, and there's still 2 seconds on the clock, and now it looked like Stiff came up limping after the last out-of-bounds play.
Mike Krzyzewski said, we will win. That's Peter Gaudette. Outstanding assistant who really charts and evaluates. Tommy Amica, he will be a big-time college coach, great communicator. Has a lot of the similarities as Randy Ayers. They saw the opportunity to hire Randy down at Ohio State. The same with Virginia's Jeff Jones. They were late. Oh, gee, let's hope this kid is not hurt.
And that's it. The Blue Devils have preserved their #1 ranking and their position in the ACC. Tough fight for Virginia, but they couldn't pull it off. The final 76-67 for Dick Vitale and our entire ESPN crew. This is Mike Patrick. Thanks for watching, everybody.
ESPN's NCAA basketball is brought to you by McDonald's, where what you want is what you get at McDonald's today. By Volkswagen. Enjoy the unique European driving experience called Fahrvergnügen, only in a Volkswagen. By Payne Weber, we believe our most important investment is an investment in relationships. And by Bud Dry. Dry brewed so it drinks light yet satisfies completely.